lucky and graduated from Harvard with a BA and an MD, and she's worked as a primary care physician since 2001. I don't know how you do it. She's a prolific author of several books for young readers, including the Newbery Honor book, Red, White, and Whole, and her picture book, I'll Go and Come Back. Please join me in welcoming Rajani and her new book, Masala Chai, Fast and Slow.
It's just like a warm, fuzzy room, right? Because I pretty much know everyone in here. It's so wonderful to have you come out. Thank you for coming to celebrate with me. This is my 6th book of the year and the last one of the year. Thank goodness. And so I'm delighted to be able to celebrate it on the day it actually comes out, which isn't what happened for many of my books during the summer. That was just kind of like a weird time where nobody could do anything, so it's fine. And I'm really excited about this one. As you can imagine, it's a story that's really close to my heart and gives me the warm fuzzies. So I'm really grateful that you're here to share it with me. And I'm just gonna say a couple of things before I read the book. But the inspiration for this book came from somebody who might be in this room, my dad, who makes great chai, and who, like a lot of older people, but especially older Indian people, says things like, slowly, slowly, when we're all running around, rushing around everywhere we go. And so that kind of got in my head, and I was like, what if there's a book about a little boy who likes to go fast, and his grandfather who likes to take things slow, and how they have kind of opposite ways of seeing how to be in the world. But the one thing that they definitely agree on is that they have to make chai every day. And the thing is that the little boy wants to make chai quickly, which you cannot do, not masala chai at least. And so that was the central tension of the book. And so I have some critique partners in the room. I don't feel like, you may correct me, I don't feel like this one went through a ton of revisions. I feel like I pretty early on knew what the story was about, so that's always a relief when that happens. Because as you know, there are books that take you years and you're like, I don't know how to write this book, and you finally come upon the way. But this one was pretty fast. Yeah, and I think that coming out of COVID and being able to do things in person again made me appreciate all the more time spent with people that you love, and the ability to slow down and pay attention to what is actually happening in the moment instead of the next thing we have to do. So, with that said, I would love to read the book to you, and then we will have plenty of time for questions if anybody has any questions, and yeah, and then we'll go from there. So Masala Chai, Fast and Slow. It's illustrated by Neha Rawat, who is in India, and she's just an amazingly talented illustrator, and I think you'll see that here. And look at the end papers. Is that not the happiest? Masala Chai, Fast and Slow. Oh, and I'll just tell you, as somebody whose first name begins with R, I was always obsessed with the kids whose names started with A, and they would like be first in class. And then there were those kids that had the double A names, and I was like, that's even cooler. So I finally got to name a character with the double A name. So that was why. And he's fast. I mean, no wonder, because he's always first. Arav loved his tata very much, although they were as different as water and molasses. Tata shuffled, he sauntered, he strolled. Arav ran, he rushed, he raced. Arav had an idea. Maybe he could make masala chai himself. He'd been helping Tata for so long, he was sure he knew how. And what would make Tata feel better than a cup of the warm, spiced sweetness? Arav couldn't wait. Daddy helped him gather ingredients. Arav dumped everything into a pot, picturing Tata's face when he tasted it. But all he made was a big mess. People may not know this, but this mixing of the chai or coffee, but especially chai, where you pour it from a pot into a smaller pot or a mug and pour it back and forth, it mixes in the sugar, but it also aerates it and makes it taste better. And if you go to chai restaurants in India, they will pour it from like way up high. It's really cool. You're like, whoa. And that is it. I wanted to tell you in the back is a recipe for masala chai, if you have the patience. You do need to have patience to make masala chai, but it's worth it. So that's it, and I'm happy to take